Hello, and welcome to The Objective. Today we've got a really fun craft that we're gonna make. We're gonna make a racist. Boy, are we in for a treat today. Today we're gonna be making one of these, our very own racist, from scratch. And since they aren't naturally born, we do have to make them and put all of the effort in ourselves. But it's a pretty simple project. I would give this, on a 1 to 5 scale, I'd give this like a good solid 1.5 or 2 as far as ease. Super simple, super easy. And depending on how dedicated you are, you can make your very own racist in as little as a couple days or a couple of weeks, depending on how hard you work at it. Now you might be saying, but I don't need a racist in my life. Totally fine. This project you can use for any group of people that you want, whether it's based on their race, gender, sexuality, anything you want. And if you really want to go for the big double hit, triple whammy actually, go for xenophobia. You can use this same technique to make a xenophobe who's afraid of everybody and everything that's different from them. So yeah, multitask project here. Now, we don't need many items for this project, that's why it's so easy. But the first thing we need is a fresh, impressionable mind, such as this. Generally, the way it works, pretty simple. You pour ideas and thoughts into the mind, and the mind keeps those thoughts. Now, if you have lots of diverse thoughts, then pour into the mind, then generally your mind will be a diverse, open-minded thinker. But that's not going to work if we want to make a racist, because most racists generally aren't open-minded. So, we'll get into how specifically to use this in just one quick second. But second item we'll need are the people, such as these guys here. Now, you can use really any group of people that you want, right? You can use based on race, gender, you can use Southerners if you don't like them, or Northerners, or conservatives, or liberals, any group that you would like to despise. In this case, we went with the very simple blue people. Because I don't know about you, but I was raised, every time someone talked about race, they would always refer to the pink and purple polka dotted people. I don't know if you ever heard that. Like, I don't care if you're pink or purple polka dotted. Well, in this case, we have blue people. Now, just like in the outside world, our blue people today, there are all kinds. We have doctors and bakers, there's that baker, candlestick makers, all kinds of people that you would want. But we also have the bad people here too, that you can see with this red frowny face on them. Just like with any group, there are thieves and murderers and any bad activity that you don't want in your society. So, if our little mind here gets exposure to this entire group of people, theoretically, they are going to understand that of the blue people, there is a diverse group. So, to break that logjam, we need confirmation bias, this little guy. But, as we all know, this guy, confirmation bias, doesn't work without a really loud, obnoxious person to use it. So, now that we've got a loud, obnoxious, annoying person, and we've got them loaded with confirmation bias, now we can finally make our project. Okay, so now that we've got our blue people back and our blue people vote, the way that we make a racist is, first what we want to do, is very important that we do this in the right way, is we take all of our blue people and we put them aside and we pick the one bad blue person that we can find and we put it into our mind of the young person. And we point it out, hey, see this bad blue person? All blue people are bad, because this is the one example I'm giving you. And then, this is your loud, obnoxious person. What that does is it leaves an imprint using confirmation bias on the mind of the individual. All right, so your loud, obnoxious person has used confirmation bias to reinforce the fact that this bad person is also a blue person. We've got one whole, but that's not going to make a good racist. So what we really need are additional bad people. Okay, and now that we've put in all of our holes, let's see this bad baby in action. So, if we take all of our people, remember good, bad, doctors, bakers, candlestick makers, thieves, everybody, and we put them in, once confirmation bias has done its work, we're left with mainly the bad people. And the more we get down to this bad people concentrate, the more holes we drill. And so this, I think, is a good time to kind of dispense with the silly craft project here. We tried to be funny. We're not really a funny group, but there's really no good way to attack something as big as the isms, right? Racism, sexism, any group, and people on both sides do it, right? You think of, if you've thought of all Alabamians as the same, you've done it. If you've thought of all New Yorkers or Californians as the same, you've done it, right? It's the same concept of taking an entire group and picking out the individuals that you don't like. And when you pick those out and you put them in a young, impressionable mind, or even your own, because people do develop these thoughts over time, then it does create holes, right? It creates holes in your mind where you filter out the good people. You say, I don't want to remember the good people. And of course you don't consciously say this, right? This is something our mind does without us even realizing it, which is the point of this video, to show you that we do this, that we filter it out without even realizing. So you can show somebody who's already got these holes built in, you can show them one bad person and 4 or 5 good people, and they're not going to remember it. And again, it's not entirely their fault. It's the way their brain works. It's the way our brain works. So I imagine if you're watching this, you're actually not wanting to build a racist. You're probably watching this because you want to prevent the creation of racists. And you're wondering, how do we stop this from happening? Now, I will say that it is very difficult to try to change someone's mind once they've got this many holes. That's why it's important to really watch what you're saying around children and young, impressionable minds, because once these holes are drilled out, it's very difficult to fill them in. And there is a phenomenon called cognitive dissonance. It's a real thing, and we all experience it quite frequently. And it's when you have this filter built, right? So say you believe that all blue people are terrible people. When someone provides you evidence of a blue person doing a good thing, it creates something called cognitive dissonance. And it is described as a feeling of unease. Sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's physical. Sometimes people physically get headaches and stomach aches when you present them this information, because their filter is saying that information is wrong, but you are providing actual facts. And so there's a dissonance there. The sad part is, the way our brains are built, a lot of times we'll rely back on the filter. So even when you're providing all this evidence of these bakers and candlestick makers, it'll still filter right through. So it is very difficult to attack this once it's done. We're not experts on that, I think. So I can't give you advice on how to do, if you've got a hardcore racist, I don't know if you can change this. But it's the folks in the middle. It's the young folks, and then the rest of us who have these differing confirmation bias challenges every day. We are the ones that kind of helping and trying to get rid of the small holes that are already built, whether it's for conservatives or liberals or people that live in Alabama or people that drive Mercedes or people that live in apartments, right? All of these things. This is where confirmation bias gets us. Anyway, put the project down. Now we've got a bowl that we can't do anything with, but we're going to keep it because it'll be fun. Thanks everybody for watching. We enjoyed this episode. So this week is going to be a really busy week when it comes to politics and news, at least here in the U.S. We've got the impeachment trial started. We're not sure what we're going to do yet. We might do some more flows. We think that's, a lot of people really like the flows of the debates, and it's kind of cool if you go back and watch, and we'll provide links in the show notes. If you go back and watch our impeachment debates, we actually are able to distill down the debate into what people are saying right now, which is really cool. Watching these hearings 2-3 months ago, and when we flow them out, and again, watch them, these are dated like November, December, we flowed them out, we basically came to the conclusion, hey, this debate is going to be about who is corrupting our elections, the president or Congress. And if you watch the news right now, that's what the trial is coming to. So that's really cool. If you're curious about how we did that, please watch our earlier episodes on the impeachment debates. We also have one on the Yovanovitch hearings, just if you're curious about what flowing looks like. Anyway, if you have ideas on how you would like us to handle this really big news of impeachment, please let us know. If you want us to do more flow debates, if you want us to focus on news programs and how people are debating, let us know. We'd love to hear your ideas. All right, thanks everybody. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That's the best way to make sure you see our videos on time. We are a news organization to an extent, and so a lot of our stuff is very timely. So if you want to make sure that you see our videos when it's still relevant, subscribe, and that'll get you on our board. All right, thanks so much. Have a good day. Bye.